Hi everyone, I'm Anna Hyde. This is founder Fireside. Two founder, one honest conversation. Let's get into it. Today I'm sitting with someone who has one of the most unique perspective on AI that I have come across. And I say that because he has not just studied AI, he has lived on both sides of it. He has built and run healthcare companies, sold medical devices to hospitals, built marketing agencies for doctors, dentists, and lawyers. And now, through Knowledge LLM, he has reviewed over 500 AI tools. He knows what works, he knows what does not, and he is not afraid to say it. Ibrahim, welcome to the Fireside.
Thank you for having me.
So, first of all, what is the time there? I think you're in Chicago right now.
So it's around 1:15.
I see. And do you have any plan rest of your day?
A little bit more work and a little bit more time with the family.
That's good. So this is a good, nice hybrid approach you have taken this Saturday.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So before we get into the big stuff, I want to hear how you got there, because your path is not a typical one. So talk about your journey. What pulled you from healthcare into the AI world?
Yeah, so this is a interesting topic. So healthcare is what I worked with years ago. I worked with medical device companies, hospitals, clinics using product. So we used to be a wholesale distributor of medical device products. And from there, I found that we could automate, streamline the process, improve the efficiency. We used to work on hospital bids. At that time, they were this big. So we had hundreds, thousands of line items. And for me, automation was always a thing. So how do you have a team go through all of that without automation? So finding solutions for little problems like that for a completely different business was probably the starting point, where we took that, created a little mini software. We used to do our automations on Excel. No, I mean, these were the existing tools. And from there, we started to expand with code products. We did bidding. We did automated bidding then. We started looking at the products. So we started adding some more data sets. So in a different industry, different automation. Then going into the e-commerce, from there, expanding from the products and bringing in the reach for the way people search for these products. So we expanded from working directly with government to working with other B2B, other wholesalers. So I transitioned because when I exited, I had a non-compete. So I had to work with consulting and I had to find something that I was good at. And for me, I had to work with consulting first. I worked with medical device, medical hospital companies. Then I started to work with clinics. Clinics expanded, it blew up because they had a lot of problems. And the problems they had were endless because usually it's fast paced, a lot of patients, and a lot of them are not tech savvy. And this is very common. And most of the management they hire are usually pushing this stuff away. They like the idea, but they push it away. Their entire medical marketing. So the consulting was targeting the marketing, the operations, and the sales. We don't touch finance. We just help them spend their money. So yeah, I mean, how did I get there? I had no choice. I was looking for something. And it just fell in my lap. And for me, it was a deep passion to help clinics because this was my background.
With clinics, you were helping them with sales or consulting. Can you elaborate a little bit? Because
so a lot of what I did was I looked at everything. Majority of my background comes from marketing, but sales and marketing intersects. You can't really say sales for clinics. The reality is it's still a product. The delivery of your service, it's still sales. And a lot of people hate to say it. And it's true, you can't really say it, but it's still what differentiates one doctor from the other. Sometimes it's the care. Sometimes it's the entire patient experience. Sometimes they just accept your insurance. So we don't know until we have the patient in there and we get their feedback. We use the data from that feedback, whether it's the reviews, whether it's surveys, and we try to see how we can improve that from there. And a lot of the times it's communication. A lot of clinics, when we work with them, they're not even on the map. So patients can't even find them. Sometimes there is no clear understanding of what they provide. Sometimes there is no good communication where when the patient's trying to get a hold of the practice, nobody's there to answer. They go through hoops, press 1, press 2, press 3. And a lot of that could be answered with user experience on the website, plus AI. So when I say AI, it's actually really simple. It's something that will advocate for you based on the understanding of your information of your company. And a lot of people have a hard time delivering that message because they don't have enough information on their website to tell people what they do, what we're open, how we're open, answer all the main questions people have, and they don't have it accessible for people. So an AI chatbot can do that. Good user experience on the website and collecting the information so you can reach back out to them.
So how do you see for all those businesses and practices that you have helped, how do you see the customer acquisition is changing from now 2030?
So most products are already integrating some sort of AI or they're disappearing. There's no question. So even the most basic software will say I'm AI powered now, but it's not equal. So, I mean, here's an example. You can have multiple chatbots or multiple voice agents, and none of them perform the same because there are little aspects in there that really differentiate the performance. Number one, it's digesting the information you're feeding it. Did it learn who you are? Good. And number two, who taught it? And what information was it taught with? Number three, what kind of voice agent is it using? Why is there so much latency? Little things like that. So on the development aspect, and you would probably know this, it's putting all the pieces together to give the best outcome. When you see two chatbots, there's two things most of them do. They read the data on the website. And we found that the way AI learns is not equal. And the way it takes that information and transcribes it is not equal. Because there's different methods. So we can get into it, RAG, vector. How is it searching for that information for context? Number two, what does it understand? What is it trained to do as an AI agent? So for example, if you have an AI agent on your website, it should understand general knowledge, like have some logic, understand your business. It should understand the context of your business, that you're a clinic. It should understand the industry a little bit. It should understand what it shouldn't say. It should also have some directives. And this is where most chat fail because a lot of them are cookie cutter. They don't have clear roadmaps. They don't exceed. And besides just delivering a simple chat and a simple end-to-end conversation, like you can have a conversation, it can answer your questions, but is it booking your appointments? And same thing happens with voice. What is it connected to?
I want to be a little bit more specific here. Where do you think AI is genuinely better than a human? Not faster, like really better.
Repetitive tasks.
Yes.
Repetitive, simple tasks. I don't believe humans should be doing that. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I think it's torture. Have a human do the same thing again and again. I train my staff to use AI to do these repetitive tasks. And then when we have like an hour every morning, we do an AI, how to automate your workflow. And we do this with every team member. For example, if it's social media, we try different tools. Well, I've tried almost everything. So one platform we use, for an example, is GenSpark. We use FreePick. We have all of them. I use Manus. But we use GenSpark because it has multiple AIs in there and I can give it to the team. The other thing is we train them to generate the images from there. We don't use stock images anymore. We also use FreePick. They have every tool they need. But at the same time, how do you automate their work environment? We don't use Shutterstock anymore. We don't use, a lot of things are yesterday. And that's what's going to happen. they need to change their models. This is like Blockbuster.
And give me one specific example where you think that, especially in sales process, where AI should never be involved. Like the moment where putting AI in front of the customer would actually lose you the deal.
A lot of people say a voice agent should be the first thing that people see. And the reality is, it depends. If you're calling a company, I still believe that you should have a human first. And I do believe the AI should be redundant. But I do believe that instead of calling press 1, press 2, press 3, you should have an AI handle that. And number 3, they should not know it's an AI. It should be good to the extent that it handled everything without them knowing it's an AI. They want somebody to resolve their problem or somebody in your team. So if the AI is your team member and it's handling it above humans, then that's good. And the good thing about chatbots is they don't see you. So as you make it human-like, you're good. And you're resolving the problem, you're good. But when you're speaking to somebody, there's a block. A lot of people will look at it and they'll get annoyed, and it should not be the first voice of intervention. Not yet, at least. And by the way, I say this, there's been a lot of updates. There's like 3 new AI voice models that are very human-like. They breathe, they speak, and I'm trying to test them, but you have to understand that still human comes first. Use it for the process, for the improvement, and that AI should solve most of their problems before handling everything else.
This is gold. And it actually leads into something really interesting that is happening right now with AI agents and business operations. I'm going to ask you, like, there is a big conversation happening right now about AI agents that can be trained on your business SOPs and run your workflows for you. You have built businesses with complex operations. Do you think most small businesses even have SOPs clean enough to train AI on?
No. So sometimes we have to build their SOPs. We have to go backwards before forward. Sometimes we have to we look at their website. We look at the external, what they provide, because that's one data set that teaches the AI. Then we look in the back end. What happens when you want to schedule an appointment? Who does that? That's part of the SOP. That's part of the background, the infrastructure. If the patient or the lead wants to schedule an appointment, are you able to schedule it? Can we do it in the platform that you're doing it, or can we just collect the information so you can go back after them and reach out to them? So there's a lot of questions. So we go back to the SOP, who handles this, how they handle this, the right way to handle it. How do we follow HIPAA compliance? How do we follow any other requirements? Then we take all this information and then we feed it to the AI to the right way. And by the way, a lot of AIs will handle this themselves to the most part, except the SOP. That's something you got to put in a document to really give it some context. The question is the AI handling technical aspect or sales? And the information you give it is based on the information and the people it's handling.
So if a solo practice wanted to start using AI agents to handle parts of their operation, what is the one process they should automate first?
Clinics, a lot of the times in the back end, are held by a truck. I rarely find documentation. I rarely find anything done properly. And it's very few times. And even the larger clinics, you'll find gaps. The first thing I would start is going backwards. Let's start building that back-end SOP, guidebook, anything that they need, and then start moving forward with the AI. But by the way, when I say that, the AI can start handling the front-end stuff. So we don't have to automate everything. Sometimes you just take a few things that are on your website and start there. Now, you look at answers that were given. For an example, your hours at another location were not correct, answered by the AI, but it's not its fault. It's because it wasn't fed that information. For an example, sometimes you have a multi-location company and you only fed it one location. So it only knows what you tell it. Now, it'll only answer the information you give it. So when we have these problems, we just improve it.
So I want to zoom out a bit because the chatbot and voice agent space is going crazy right now. You have reviewed over 500 AI tools. The chatbots and the voice agent space is exploding. Honestly, where is all of this heading? What does this looks like in 2 years?
Most software companies are going to shut down if they don't do one of three things. Number one, they have to add end-to-end value. They can't solve one problem without really solving it. So for an example, if OpenAI was just ChatGPT, it would be expired, but it's working on agents. So I think the future is agents, but then it's also completely like agents that are just doing repetitive work. I think more is going to be voice. I don't think people are going to be typing. You're going to be speaking, and you just make sure that it's work. And then it's going to be amongst wearables a lot more. So for an example, it's going to be integrated, like Google search is going to be what Alexa and Siri couldn't do in the past, which I think they're going to finally do it right. Okay, what business is the best in this place? So voice search is going to handle this much more than searching on Google, for an example. So if we go back, the software companies that are not innovating, no more additional roadmap, not automating the process, those are going to eventually disappear because they're not going to get new customers. The new ones, and just so you know, I mean, even the AI agents themselves are handling a lot of things the software are doing. Like, let's look at Claude for the last 2 months. It's been handling things that a lot of software, like look at Google Sheets, look at Microsoft Excel, can automate the entire process. A lot of companies are in jeopardy when they focused on one thing. Now, if you're focusing on handling sales, operations, the back end, and everything integrates, the most successful companies are the most integratable companies. When you close off your software, you either better hold a monopoly and solve everything. I hate to say that word, but you literally have to be the best and solve all the problems, or you gotta have integrations to everything and make it easy, like one click by native integration. So I think that's the future.
Really, really good point. Honestly, when every business has an AI chatbot and every business has an AI voice agent and they have their automation and all cool, all operations are perfectly automated, I would say. So what is left to differentiate one business from another?
So nothing changes with businesses' operations in general. They should always do better for their customer. The question is, if you're providing a bad service, the only thing that's going to happen with AI is it's going to amplify that. If your business is good and your roadmap is good and your customer service is good, then you can take on more customers and you can provide better value for them. So the business itself has to be good from the core. Now, the AI chatbot is going to improve the efficiency for the customer. It's going to improve the efficiency for the business. It's going to, in the AI agents, the automations, you'll have one central source of truth in your data, in your CRM, and everybody is lacking from all these components. So the reality is you're able to achieve better customer support. You're able to go back and remember this customer and provide better service for them. And the difference between two tools is, number one may be disconnected from your other tools that you're using. So for an example, it could be disconnected from your EMR. It could be disconnected from leaving a review link. It could be disconnected from a lot of things. So it's not fully integrated. It's not solving all of your problems, but you have something that integrates with something that integrates with everything else. Now it's all unified. You can provide a better service for the customer. You can provide a better experience with your operations. You can save money with doing that. You have less mistakes and less speed bumps.
Very good point. And okay, so let's bring this down to earth, because a lot of people watching this are going to think this all sounds great and unified AI solutions and automation, we should get it done. But I don't know where to start. And a lot of businesses are afraid to start with AI because they think they need a tech team or a big budget. What does a $200 stack looks like for a solo practice that just wants to save time on the stuff they hate doing? What do you think is the most suitable or minimum budget for? Do you think that one small business should have at least?
A healthy budget minimum. I mean, this isn't marketing. This isn't anything. This is just for AI. Should be a minimum of like $500-600. And if you're a solo small clinic, I mean, just add a AI chatbot. Start somewhere. I mean, there's so many things. Don't add a chat GPT on your website. It doesn't work. And I don't recommend. I kind of want to say I'm a big believer in not using one AI model. I dislike giving them the full power. I just want to start there. I don't like using just OpenAI. I don't like just using Claude. I don't just like using anything. I like using each one where it's most powerful.
Yeah.
That's my number one. Number two, I don't want it to take my data. So there are ways to opt out. I mean, we'll see how good that is, but I like to stop it from doing that. And then the third method, which is more complex, is to host it yourself, teach it yourself, and make it just like you. And that's too complex for the most average person. So let's go back to the first one. Setting up a chatbot should be the first thing that you start with. Something simple, something easy, something that will just take your website and 2-click setup, done in 10-20 minutes. I think that is the first place to start. Then I'm really big at launching and then going backwards and fixing. So I don't know if you know this about me, but you'll see this launch, this launch, this launch. And I don't care about perfection. I used to. And I think that's kind of really what changed with me. But I'll launch, then go back and fix it. And it's because AI will help you launch. I don't have to do anything. I can put it in Cloud Code, have an idea. I can put it in Manus, and then it's going to launch it for me. Whether it's a software, whether it's a solution. So I'm really big on launching. But it's never going to replace great tools out there. But if I have a business, I want to start it off. I'm like, I love this idea. I want to do it. Yeah. I wouldn't use ChatGPT. I would not. I would not use, at least maybe I'll put it in agent mode. It might work. I mean, I would definitely give it to something more skilled, whether it's Claude or Manus. And it'll handle it from end to end. It'll give you a whole business plan. It'll do it. ChatGPT will do it too. It's getting better. But today I won't give it to it.
So so just for the sake of clarity, you think is it the tool or is it the process that business should focus on?
Start somewhere. Tools are never ending. There's a surplus of tools, but choosing the right tool is the most important thing because they're not all equal. The process is definitely important and the tool sometimes is part of the process. So maybe I get into detail and I talk a lot sometimes, but I'll tell you, some chat bots will just cover answer question. Some chat tools will cover answer question doing. There's a big difference. One of them is scheduling your appointments. One of them is scheduling your appointments and sending you an SMS and a notification. One of them is resolving your issue. The other one is just pending your issue. So I don't like tools that don't do anything from end to end. You have to solve my entire problem because I'm busy and it's not me. Everyone's busy. Even if you don't value your time, you're still throwing it away. And a lot of people, I tell them, they're like, oh, I can do this in 2 hours. I'm like, how much would you pay yourself in 2 hours? What is 2 hours worth to you? And I'm talking to a doctor and a lawyer and I'm like, well, how much is 2 hours worth to you? And they don't want to pay $99, $200. What is your hour worth? And even if it's a small store, people are like, I'll figure it out. Sometimes these tools will save you time. I think it goes back to that.
Really, really good point. I really like your point when you say that unified tool, it's so important for tools to be unified and integrated. There are a lot of claims and there is a big claim, I would say, I keep hearing. There is a prediction that in the next 24 months, AI-driven automation will become standard across business operations. So do you agree with the timeline or is it that Silicon Valley optimism that does not match with what is happening on the ground with real small businesses?
It's going to be a threat for businesses that don't want to make a change. So if you're using, I can name 100 tools, but let's just say I'm going to use ClickUp because a lot of people know it. ClickUp is innovative, forward-thinking company project management tool. Notion as well. You take any of those, they're thinking forward. They're using agents. You could build your own tool inside. A lot of them are doing the same thing. Google's probably doing the same thing too. I think Google might do the same thing as Notion, or take it or buy it. I don't know. I have a feeling. But even Google is trying to perfect its tools. It's too clunky. It's very difficult to work with in the Google workspace for the average Joe. Now, for an enterprise level, it's great, but they're making it simple. You go in Google, going into your login, you have a chat next to you. I don't like using their tools because I don't want to say too much, but your data is there. And I know they have it anyway, especially if you're using Google. But I don't want to give their AI more power because I believe the power is with having unified agents doing the work. And it's because Gemini isn't always going to be the best at calculation. It may not always be the best at image creation. It is today. Tomorrow, ChatGPT is going to take the lead. That's why I believe in having multi-agents, put the leader and have it do that task. And, from there, you'll have a better outcome.
And okay, so I have to ask this one. You write about cutting through AI hype for a living. What is the biggest lie being sold to business owners about AI right now?
AI is going to take your jobs.
Okay.
It's not going to take your jobs. Your jobs are going to change. Yes, some people, it's going to let go of the low performers, the ones faking it. High performers, the ones that are learning how to use it, are going to do well. So it's about implementing it, having the right training. I think every company should have the training internally. A lot of large companies have a struggle moving forward with this because they have a lot of employees. So, they take small steps while small companies are able to excel with this. Yeah. So
Cool. Okay. So thank you very much. And I really liked it. I think it was a very interesting response to it. I really want to bring it closer to home for a second. You have looked at over 500 AI tools. You know what is out there. When you first came across Knock Knock, what stood out to you? What made it different from the hundreds of other tools you have seen?
Okay. So I've used a lot of chatbots.
Yeah.
I think I've tried all of them, and I've built, integrated from the back end. I've done things custom when that first started. There is the simplicity. So Knock Knock, you guys just had a huge update that I just noticed. It was significant, and it was actually something that I really love. So the good thing about Knock Knock, it doesn't solve one problem. So it'll resolve the chat. It understands the context of your business, but it's doing a lot more than that. When somebody's on one page of my website, let's just say web design, it's actually going in there and answering questions about that page right away. And it gives them suggestions. So it's auto suggestions that happen on demand, better than a human would. And this is where I would go to an AI for this, because when you have a human do this, the speed isn't there, and it doesn't understand the user that's coming on your website like you would. So number one, this has already done research on the person on your website, okay? It's done a background search, social security, no, I'm just kidding. So it understands a little bit better of who they are, where they came from. So we're able to take clean data of who they are. Now it takes that information and it says, how can we help this person? And I like that. Number two, you're able to go back and recapture the people that did not convert. Number three, it's highly converting. It's made to resolve the issue of the user if it wasn't answered by the website. I haven't found another tool better than this for conversion, it doesn't do one thing. It improves your conversion. You understand where people are stopping, where they're not, where you can excel to improve your website, improve your user experience. You could also use it as a tool to recapture people that didn't convert. You could also use it as a tool to resolve and get capture leads. And I believe it's solving a lot of support issues before they even happen. So you have less questions. I mean, there's there's a few other things. I mean, you guys just had a huge amount of updates that I actually just played with it, and I was like, wow, this person. And then it has a conversion factor. It has a human being, so it kind of goes back to the human element. It's telling you, hey, you want to speak to a human? We're here for you. We're ready to answer your questions. And a lot of people pull their hair from that. You could get calls directly from there, which I like how it redirects to any phone if nobody's in the back end. So if you're a small business owner, you're redirecting them to call. 2, it's resolving it before. Number 3, it books appointments for you. And then it connects to a central source of truth. So it goes back to the CRM, whether it's HubSpot, whether it's Go High Level, and then most marketing companies are running Go High Level. We have one called Dash Funnels. I don't like to hide it because it's not our software, but they like the Dash Funnels experience because we include a lot of things together.
I see.
Yeah, so we include we don't sell it as a product, we sell it as a service. People, you can't have a product without support. And if you get Go High Level, you can get a support. And it's customized. Go High Level is really like an Excel sheet. You can create any automation in there you want. You're building your own CRM from it. And the tools that you integrate, like Knock Knock and other tools, are there as to improve that product experience for that business. I think that's what makes it powerful. HubSpot is excellent. I use it too, actually. So I use HubSpot. HubSpot is great for businesses. It's free for most businesses. People don't know this. It's the only CRM that is still free, and it'll handle a lot of things. You'll just have a lot of like upgrade, but it will actually resolve as a CRM for most businesses. Typically, you'll need to pay around $800 a month to have more functionality for 6 users. That's what people don't realize, but it's powerful. I think it's great. And it doesn't need any automations in the background because it does a lot of it. And it's pretty customizable. But Go High Level, it's the sky's the limits. You can create anything from it. And that's what I like about it.
And I personally use it now. I was using HubSpot a few months back, but we moved to Go High Level. One big reason, price comparison is like, it's huge. The difference is huge. So we thought to move, but I found it quite useful as well. But I really want to thank you for your feedback on, this is, I'm going to show it to Umar as well, especially because he should see it. He's the guy who's been very passionately working on the tech side and improving it and beautifying it and going into detail. And I sometimes call him you're a finesse, but I can see where he is applying his natural self and going really deep into, the conversation side and the dashboards and what it can do. I also really like your point when you say it should be a unified solution. So we have plans to further now help people convert it into an account-based marketing system where people can take this data further and, reach out to their customers as well.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that. I see more data sets and it's excellent. Yeah. You can use it for ads, conversion for ads. It's really big on this. I think that's one thing that if you're spending money on ads, I want to say, don't be an idiot. Just get a tool like this. The conversion is already there. I want to say almost if your website sucks and you have it, it'll replicate your website. It could pretty much be your landing page because it solves most of the problems already there. The communication, the problem solving, and everything while having that human element.
We just introduced a playground and it's on our website and there is a white label version of it available as well. I'm going to send an email on Monday so you can and other people can have their white label version of the playground on their site as well. So where people can go and play with the AI and do whatever. So wait for my email, and if you can go on our site and have a play with it. So it's very interesting. Which it's another interesting upgrade which we already.
So is the playground embeddable on our website?
Absolutely 100%. So you can.
Nice.
Iframe, 100%.
It'll be done within 5 minutes. You see how I vibe code updates?
Email I was just waiting for the Monday to, hopefully tonight or tomorrow you will have the email with you.
That's awesome. That's really good.
Cool. Okay.
Keep up the good work.
That's-
I really like how everything that I think you took all the problem pain points that most products have and you built a product around it. So most of the time it's just another product and another thing, but it's solving big problems. So I really like that. And I use it myself. So I will say I've been testing it really well. It's really good. Actually, I watch it. So I let it chat with the people. And I actually sit there and I'm like watching it while it's doing it. And I'm like, wow, you actually did a great job. You're fired. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I believe humans and AI too, but AI first for certain tasks.
Yeah. I really liked your comment on LinkedIn. When you said that there was a knock and somebody tell me about it. I think it's really interesting.
It was a true story. I was actually sitting in this office and it was new for me at that time. So I had just tried it within a week.
Yeah.
Every time somebody would go on the website, it would be like knock, 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 knock. And I'm like, I didn't realize it had this many visitors. We checked the analytics, but it's different when you see it live. So the guy was sitting down right in front of me. Actually, I should probably here, let me just I like doing visuals. Look at this. Sorry here. So he walked in and he was sitting right there. And I was like, I actually realized the knock knock was coming from I have another computer here. And I'm like, knock, 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 knock. And I actually forgot about it because I got used to it. You know, when he hired, so he was like an older guy. He was like, am I hearing something? Somebody's knocking on the door. Are you going to open it?
That was so...
Yeah.
It's so good to hear that. So good to hear that. Because that's the concept. Somebody's on your website, so there should be a knock up. You get to know it's like somebody entering into your works.
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity to entertain them, greet them.
Yeah.
I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. I went back on LinkedIn after a few days or weeks, and then I wanted to really have that clip. And I said, where exactly? I kept looking for it. I forgot which post was it. But that's something that made me, and I shared it with Omar as well, and we really laughed about it. And thank you so much, Ibrahim.
No problem.
Such a fabulous, such a great feedback. And definitely, Omar will be so encouraged to keep improving it as well. So let's get into a fun part. What I'll do, I'll ask you. So it's going to be a quick round. I'll throw a question and maybe 1 or 2 word answer. Best tool for website conversion.
I want to say knock knock right now.
Good. Best tool for client follow-up.
Automated client follow-up.
I see.
So because client follow-up can mean a lot. So, I mean, we use dash funnels, go high level for that because there's an automated sequence for that. So we build it out. There are some tools that will do it automatically, but you'll have to probably move to another CRM. And you can create an automation to do that. And you can actually do this with Claude or Manus. You just tell it, I want to create an automated sequence. You could do it with Zapier. You can do it all that. Something that's already done. You kind of have to build it out so far. The automated sequences. There are 2 new AI tools that will do it. I don't know how well they'll do it. Because even the LinkedIn outreach tools, I haven't found anything perfect yet. Have you ever seen like somebody comes to your website, you go back, wait, does knock knock do this?
Not yet, but there's something in pipeline. I think it's already built. We have not deployed it. So we were holding on it because the new updates that you see these days. So I think, but that's something which is already built and not deployed yet. So not yet, but very soon. Yes.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
So because the main purpose is to automate and humanize as well, make the whole sales process, make it seamless and so smooth for the end customer and for businesses as well. So, okay, so best tool for booking appointments.
So I've tried. Okay, I have to ask, is booking appointments?
Knock does.
Yeah, so there's visual, there's, but there's also sending booking links. There's also, there's different ways to book appointments.
Okay.
And that's why maybe because I know the complexity, too complex. So voice, there's one on the call, it's called Beside. So you get a phone call, it'll actually book it directly into my calendar, called Beside. Okay, and it's actually, I've never seen anything that does it on a phone call. On the website, definitely knock knock because I use it myself. Then I want to say, oh, it did schedule an appointment before. The thing is, it went straight in the appointment. Sorry, I mind. And then booking, sending a booking link. I guess I want to say, I don't even use dash funnels for that. I want to say HubSpot's actually pretty good. The booking link is seamless. I've used Calendly. Cal, by the way, Cal is right here. We're using another platform. It's called, I use one, and then the team uses another one. So far, we're using dash funnels, Go High Level, and then we use HubSpot for the booking links. I use one personally for myself. It's completely different. It's called Jet Calendar. I think it's pretty good.
Cool. Okay, so best tool for booking, best tool for a business with no tech team.
Best tool? What type of tool though?
I mean, we deal with sales and marketing. You choose any.
Something that'll do it for you. Completely automated. Okay, I'm gonna say one aspect of marketing. So we have something called Bird Local, and it automates. We set it up once, and they don't even have to touch it. It responds to the review request. It shares the social post automatically for the reviews. It's really good for most businesses. But if you want a full AI tool that's done for you, I would say setting up some sort of AI automation through dash funnels where the social posts, everything is all done for you. But it would be more of like a done for you service because it would have to, there's no automation completely done. There is a social tool. You see, the thing is, there isn't anything out there that does everything for you. So I'm going to say social, I'm going to say invitation. Social media, if you want to know a really good tool that completely automates it, that nobody knows about, it's called MyMarket.
I see.
It won't replace a human, but it's smart at pulling the context. It'll grab all the information from your website. For most businesses, it's pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
So I haven't seen anything better than that, at least.
Cool. And which tool do you recommend for cold email? Sending cold email.
Cold email?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people use Instantly. There's Smart Lead, Instantly. We have to look at deliverability. We have to look at, the most important thing is dedicated IP, if possible. Number two, if there's no dedicated IP, is it setting up the senders properly? They're all good. I think with the cold email, the most important thing is it warming up your emails? Is it smart enough? It's the delivery. So most of the cold email is the message you're providing. We actually do really well with cold email, and it was surprising me for websites. We have a huge campaign, maybe like 300,000 emails a month, and we have multiple senders, and it does really well, but you have to make it human-like and not provide links. Ask a simple question, provide value, do not spam, and then people will convert. So those are the deliveries the highest, open rates the highest, and the longer you keep the emails, the better it works. But don't spam people. But most of the tools I think are good. I use ManyReach.
Yeah, ManyReach.
I don't want to say it's the best. It's really good at what it does, but the user experience for the average Instantly might be good. And then Smart Leads also has a pretty good UI UX. Both of them are pretty good.
Cool. Thank you for that. So you reviewed 500 AI tools, and I'm going to ask you one question. What is the worst one you have ever seen?
Worst. I want to say the worst ones are the ones that don't provide value. I don't want to give a name, but in general, a tool that comes out predatory, says it's AI, says it does these things, but really doesn't resolve it. So I guess AI today is a marketing tactic. The worst AI tool is what tells you it's fully agentic, but it has no agentic features. That's the problem that I have, because it's setting itself to be an AI that's solving your problems, but it's really doing nothing. So it's just automation in the background, and it just has a little chat AI. Fully agentic AI will be super smart, will handle things with very smart, complexity. Any tool that says they have AI and they're not doing that is really probably the problem, right?
Cool. Okay.
I don't want to give a name.
Cool. Okay. So you have built companies in healthcare, marketing, and AI. You have worked with solo practices, hospitals, and enterprise. Is there one thing every business owner must do in 2026 to grow? What is that?
Learn, educate yourself. AI will take your job if you do not learn. I don't care if you have a PhD, if you're an MD, or you have best doctorate degree, AI is getting there. So because I'm seeing it every day. Like right now there's doctor AI portals, and the moment regulations allow it, it's not going to be exactly a threat to you today. It will come for your industry. That's not what I mean. I mean, understand it, learn about it. Just the way you update your certifications for healthcare. The industry has changed. You do have to know what the best tools are out there. You have to know basics, how they work. And this training is important for everyone's future because you have to know what your threat is. If somebody is threatening you and your family, you're going to learn about them. You want to know who it is. AI is not threatening you, but it's the future. And it could threaten you because it could do some things better than you. It could do some things better than some, repetitive work and all that. I don't think it's going to replace it. I think people that use it in those positions are going to do it better and they're going to excel above others.
Ibrahim, this has been a great conversation. Thank you for your time and your insight.
No problem.
Where can people find you if they want to connect?
You can't find me. I'm just kidding. You can find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
IN/IKB, VISMountain.com, birdlocal.com, Knowledge LLM. You could find me on Espresso. You could find me on, a lot of places. But you could just reach out to me on LinkedIn or call VIS Mountain 708-669-9666. We do the AI setups. We set people up with the Knock Knock app. We set people up with the automations. We try to integrate their tools with everything else. So I think that's the most important thing, having that unity and the unification.
Which is a great point. So for everyone watching, thank you for tuning in. This is Founder Fireside. See you on the next one.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.